Transition smooth, effects on point. Every clip lined up, frame by frame we join. Your story's alive, it's a perfect pitch. All thanks to the guide of Stanley Mitch. Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Turn every frame into pure cinematic bliss. From the timeline to the final stitch, you'll shine, you'll rise. Just flip that switch. Lights, camera, edit, the future's rich. Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Do you want me to make this short and punchy like a YouTube jingle? Or a full promotional anthem that could run for a few minutes? Cut, trim, color, make the vision glow. Stanley Mitch will teach you how to steal the show. From beginners to the masters, watch your skills grow. Hit that play button, let the magic flow. Just flip that switch. Transition smooth, effects on point. Every clip lined up, frame by frame we join. Your story's alive, it's a perfect pitch. All thanks to the guide of Stanley Mitch. Like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Do you want me to make this short and punchy like you? Or a full promotional anthem that could run for a few minutes? Cut, trim, color, make the vision glow. Stanley Mitch will teach you how to steal the show. From beginners to the masters, watch your skills grow. Hit that play button, let the magic flow. Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Turn every frame into pure cinematic bliss. From the timeline to the final stitch, you'll shine, you'll rise. Just flip that switch. Transition smooth, effects on point. Every clip lined up, frame by frame we join. Your story's alive, it's a perfect pitch. All thanks to the guide of Stanley Mitch. Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Turn every frame into pure cinematic bliss. From the timeline to the final stitch, you'll shine, you'll rise. Just flip that switch. Lights, camera, edit, the future Stanley Mitch. Do you want me to make this short and punchy like a YouTube jingle? Or a full promotional anthem that could run for a few minutes? Cut, trim, color, make the vision glow. Stanley Mitch will teach you how to steal the show. From beginners to the masters, watch your skills grow. Hit that play button, let the magic flow. Just flip that switch. Transition smooth, effects on point. Every clip lined up, frame by frame we join. Your story's alive, it's a perfect pitch. All thanks to the guide of Stanley Mitch. Like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Do you want me to make this short and punchy like you? Or a full promotional anthem that could run for a few minutes? Cut, trim, color, make the vision glow. Stanley Mitch will teach you how to steal the show. From beginners to the masters, watch your skills grow. Hit that play button, let the magic flow. Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Turn every frame into pure cinematic bliss. From the timeline to the final stitch, you'll shine, you'll rise, just flip that switch. Transition smooth, effects on point. Every clip lined up, frame by frame we join. Your story's alive, it's a perfect pitch. All thanks to the guide of Stanley Mitch. Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Turn every frame into pure cinematic bliss. From the timeline to the final stitch, you'll shine, you'll rise, just flip that switch. Lights, camera, edit, the future's rich. Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Do you want me to make this short and punchy like a YouTube jingle? Or a full promotional anthem that could run for a few minutes? Cut, trim, color. by frame we join. Your story's alive, it's a perfect pitch. All thanks to the guide of Stanley Mitch. Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Turn every frame into pure cinematic bliss. From the timeline to the final stitch, you'll shine, you'll rise, just flip that switch. Lights, camera, edit, the future's rich. Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Do you want me to make this short and punchy like you? Or a full promotional anthem that could run for a few minutes? Cut, trim, color, make the vision glow. Stanley Mitch will teach you how to steal the show. From beginners to the masters, watch your skills grow. Hit that play button, let the magic flow. Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Turn every frame into pure cinematic bliss. From the timeline to the final stitch, you'll shine, you'll rise, just flip that switch. Transition smooth, effects on point. Every clip lined up, frame by frame we join. Your story's alive, it's a perfect pitch. All thanks to the guide of Stanley Mitch. Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Turn every frame into pure cinematic bliss. From the timeline to the final stitch, you'll shine, you'll rise, just flip that switch. Lights, camera, edit, the future's rich. Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Do you want me to make the short and punchy like a YouTube jingle? Or a full promotional anthem that could run for a few minutes? Cut, trim, color, make the vision glow. Stanley Mitch will teach you how to steal the show. From beginners to the masters, watch your skills grow. Hit that play button, let the magic flow. Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Turn every frame into pure cinematic bliss. From the timeline to the final stitch, you'll shine, you'll rise, just flip that switch. Transition smooth, effects on point. Every clip lined up, frame by frame we join. Your story's alive, it's a perfect pitch. All thanks to the guide of Stanley.
While I was streaming the software froze. This is the photo you are working on. I've gotten it this far. you left me at around here. Not there, here. And I was waiting, as I was waiting for the software to work again, I added a background, which is this one, and then I added a few color lookups and all. Now we'll finish it up because there are many others, and then as we do the rest, we are going to follow through also. Allow me a second, I check with the browser whether you can hear and see me. So there might be feedback, and then as we do the rest, yeah, it's working. So we'll finish up the remaining part, which is the retouch, the smoothing of the skin, and then we'll move to another image, and then we'll finish it. We'll do the whole thing from the top. I slowed myself down so that you don't find me having worked on most of them, lest you miss the lesson. You're here watching. Once you get in, subscribe, like the video so that it can be recommended by the algorithm. That is like the best support you can give me. If you have a question, drop it. If there is anything that I'm using that you would like, you can also request for it, either through WhatsApp using the number in the video title, or via the comment section. I don't get many messages, so I do reply. Maybe someday in future I'll have a struggle with that when the messages are in thousands. But for now, take advantage of the time when I'm not overly occupied, so you can get yourself the resources you need to be editing your works.
Stanley Mitch will teach you how to steal the show. From beginners to the masters, watch your skills grow. Hit that play button, let the magic flow. Oh, edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Turn every frame into pure cinematic bliss. From the timeline to the final stitch, you'll shine, you'll rise, just flip that switch. Transition smooth.
I think the face is too bright, so I'll select highlights, Control Alt Shift 2,
Your story's
and then 2 again.
a perfect pitch, all thanks to the guide.
Then I'll dim that using curves. Then I'll drop this.
Stanley Mitch, turn every frame into pure cinematic bliss. From the timeline to the final stitch, you'll shine, you'll rise, just flip that switch. Lights, camera, edit the future.
Then I'll put it in a group,
Edit like a pro.
a mask, and then I'll paint that in,
To make the short and punch
then reduce its opacity until it balances out with the rest of the body.
that could run for a few minutes.
Now I want to establish that she wasn't, yeah, she's brown. If she was any dark and I needed her very dark, it's very simple. You just pick black and white and turn it to overlay. You turn it to multiply. Here you pick black and white, then you turn that to overlay. She just darkens. Then you can reduce the opacity to how much black you want. but I'll leave it the way it is or keep it that way. I think I like it more that way, so that she doesn't look overly brown. Yeah, that photo is done good. I'm now copying the branding.
Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Turn every frame into pure cinematic bliss. From the timeline to the final stitch, you'll shine, you'll rise. Just flip that switch. Transition smooth, effects on point. Every clip lined up, frame by frame we join. Your story's alive. It's a
So we export that one and then we address the rest. We do the others.
edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Turn every frame into pure cinematic bliss. From the timeline to the final stitch, you'll shine, you'll rise. Just flip that switch. Lights, camera, edit, the future's rich.
Perfect. Moving on to the next image. In this one we need to begin with the selection, so we'll make a copy, rasterize it, take this one back to camera raw, make it cooler. Sorry, I made it darker, should have made it cooler. Put in some, let me make a copy. You're going to go for that image later. For now, let's stay here. I'm doing that because I want the black part of the dress to be black. And also the selection will be easier when I work with a very cold image like this. Because this contamination here is going to mess up my selections. Now, select subject. Let's make it a little contrasty with the levels. Let me make another copy. Bring the levels, Control L, contrast it slightly, and then select subject. Just rasterize it. This is just a check layer though, so that you can have the selections. I hope you understand the explanation. Select subject. It will do the most, not everything though. You'll need to come in and correct some pieces. Like that part, still not excellent. But again, as usual, solid, luminous green. Then zoom in and paint in the areas that were left out, that are supposed to be included. Ensure that hardness is at 100 or somewhere there about.
Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Do you want me to make this short and punchy like you, or a full promotional anthem that could run for a few?
The more you paint, the better you become at painting, not the better you become as a person. The better you become at painting. As a person, there are many other facets you need to improve. 90% first your thinking, your mindset, and self-belief. Believing in yourself. Is a very necessary ingredient. Green cards are on. So if you are around me and you would like to take green card passports, or do the application, or you want me to do the application for you, we have that service available. If you know someone in Nairobi or away from Nairobi but would like me to either crop a passport they've already taken or apply for them, or just issue them with sufficient information on how to apply. Pass them my number. It is the season. If you're a photographer and you're here, go to that website, learn how to take passports for green card, and then begin to serve your community. Charge whatever amount you think they are worth, but ensure that when you shoot them, they are not returned with a complaint or an error. There are families remembered. Just a minute, I check something. Good work is not easy to do, but it is possible to do. Some of us have done good work for years. That's how we know it's possible to do. If you've not been doing good work, you have no excuse. Just learn, perfect your art, be good at what you do. Begin to offer to the world something they can't find elsewhere. Then money will not be a problem. And when you get up there, don't be the cheapest photographer there is. You cannot afford to put most excellent together with the cheapest in the same sentence. Once you have excelled, adjust your prices. Charge something worth your skill. Charge for the time you spent to learn. Charge for the output. Charge for your time. You're not young forever. Make the best you can out of it, but ensure that also whatever you charge is fair and that whatever you deliver is incomparable. If compared, then it's compared to the very best, that even if they went elsewhere, they will not get better. You are equal to the best or better than the best, but nothing less than the best. Let people recommend you highly. I'm using selective color to select the background that is within the hair strands, because that area is very hard to work on, and I would like to paint it in on the mask with white, a brush, then carefully I'll paint in those areas. Once you get your mask right, everything else is very flawless. Very flawless.
Stanley Mitch will teach you how to steal the show. From beginners to the masters, watch your skills grow. Hit that play button, let the magic flow. Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Turn every
Excellent. What did I do? Control D. Now you have a good selection. We inverse the selection to check. Then we have a good one. Now that selection, you're going to copy it every time we need it. And first things first, we need it now. First, to smoothen this background. You'll wonder at which point we're adding the layer I said we will. Don't worry.
Your story's alive. It's a perfect pitch. All thanks to the guide of Stanley Mitch. Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Turn every frame into pure cinematic bliss. From the timeline to the final stitch, you'll
I'll show you when, or rather at which point.
switch. Lights, camera, edit the
Now you see the colors are pure and all. Now I'll pick this selection, copy it to the layer above, put it on, so that I can have a little warmer skin. Then put it in a group, inverse mask, while pressing down on Alt, click once. And then paint back on the face. You need zero hardness on the brush.
Hit that play button, let the magic flow. Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Turn every frame into pure cinematic bliss. From the timeline to the final stitch, you'll shine, you'll rise. Just flip that switch.
You realize with that one the skin looks very good.
Transition smooth.
Pops. See?
Every clip lined up frame by
We'll do the same for the hands and every other part that there is skin.
it's a perfect pitch. All thanks to the guide of Stanley
You don't want cold skin.
Mitch. Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Turn every frame into pure cinematic bliss. From the timeline to the final stitch, you'll shine, you'll rise. Just flip that switch. Lights, camera, edit, the future's rich. Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Do you want me to make this short and punchy like you, or a full promotional anthem that could run for a few minutes?
I'm being careful not to paint outside the skin area. You could use pen tool to create a barrier if you're not sure that you can stop your hand from painting away. But then if you do, like I did here at the leaf, you just toggle it to black and take it away.
Cut, trim, color, make the vision glow. Stanley Mitch will teach you how to steal the show. From beginners to the masters, watch your skills grow. Hit that play button, let the magic flow. Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Turn every frame into pure cinematic bliss. From the timeline to the final stitch, you'll shine, you'll rise. Just flip that switch. Transition smooth, effects on point. Every clip lined up, frame by frame we join. Your story's alive, it's a perfect pitch. All thanks to the guide of Stanley Mitch. Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Turn every frame into pure cinematic bliss. From the timeline to the final stitch, you'll shine, you'll rise. Just flip that switch. Lights, camera, edit, the future's rich. Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Do you want me to make this short and punchy like a YouTube jingle, or a full promotional anthem that could run for a few minutes?
I'm now retouching the skin using the spot healing brush tool. I mute the audio because somebody called and I don't want to publicize the call. So watch as I also finish the trail of call.
Trim, color, make the vision glow.
in my edits, you realize that I do a lot in camera raw. Even when I want to adjust, to do a very serious adjustment of colors or at the background, to purify colors, decontaminate colors, I do a lot in camera raw. But I need to tell you that if you do that, then you must have made a copy and rasterized it, because if you take it back to camera raw and you have a copy of another smart object that you made initially, that change is going to be applied on both layers, and that is going to be a menace. But then the more I do this, the more you learn how I do it. There are other ways you could do it using adjustment layers, but I find camera raw to more convenient because of two reasons. One, it gives me fewer layers. I don't have to add many adjustment layers to achieve a goal. And two, I know where the sliders I want to move are. But in adjustment layer, sometimes I'm perturbed. I don't know whether the slider I need to move is in color balance, or it's in color mixer, or it's found in selective color. And it might be in both, in all those cases, but one will do a better job. I don't know which one. So I can only find out by trying. I don't want to spend my whole day editing one thing. So I prefer camera raw one because I know how it works. I know the results I get by moving which slider. I like know the end before the beginning. I have the visual in my head, and my expectation does not disappoint. I've done camera raw for very many years, for so long. That's why I don't have Lightroom in my computer. I just use Photoshop camera raw, and it does all that I need a photo to have from all that I would like a photo to have from Lightroom. I get it from camera raw. And the beauty of that is that I don't have to export it to another software. Then I open it in Photoshop and do everything else that needs to be done. Now these flowers, you realize they are a little blue. So I'm going to take selective color white and then warm them up. Sorry, this is not white, but it will still get the job done. It's just a way of taking away the blue tint. Now it's better. If I inverse it and paint it on the petals, they are going to look. I should paint them using a brush tool, not spot healing. A brush tool on white. There are more reds on them than I desire, so I'll make that change quickly. And then continue with the paint job. I need them white and tending towards the green, because that is how plants behave. A plant cannot be around green and looks more like another color than it does around green. Nice. Very well. Now that's done. Looks pretty up to that point. Now for this one, I want the circle on the background. This one, I want something simple so that it's easy for us to centrate with the model. Put it in a group, copy the mask, holding down on Alt and then inversing it. I'm done with the background already, except that I need to add a mask and either delete this side with a big round brush that is zero hardness, like this, so that I lose that hard edge, or use the gradient and just that, then inverse it and I'm done. Whichever way you use, you'll get similar results. However, if I zoom in, because it's not high quality, it will have artifacts, so I'll need to blur it at around 5 to 6. Let's call it 6, so that any artifacts there blend in and it becomes a very easy image to look at. No complications to them. Let's take away these veins. I find veins to look muscular for most part. So in women, even when I see them and they appear, either because you're too strong or you're too slim, but every time I see them on women, mostly I edit them out. Not because the owners are complaining, but because I feel like smoother without veins is more feminine than strong full of veins, or very slim with a lot of veins. Sometimes they don't even notice that I did. That's the fun of the whole thing. You can do so much for someone and they'll never notice, until the day they go to someone else who doesn't. Then they'll notice there's a difference. Even then they won't notice what it is you do that those ones didn't do, but at least they'll notice they don't look the same. And maybe they won't like the images, and they also want to know why they don't like the images. Strange, right? This yellow is too yellow, so selective color yellows. Just a minute. Tam.
Yes, master. Vipi?
Sasa,
Safi sana kaka, niambie.
if my brain works correctly, unakuanga Mombasa.
Nakuanga Diani.
Right. There is a client that has called. Anataka picha za green card.
Okay.
She asked me a question kaa niko na branch Mombasa. Mimi sina branch Mombasa, na sipangi kuwa na branch Mombasa. So I thought wisdom is badala ya pesa itutoroke, I just look for someone who I know might be in Mombasa and then I recommend. But then I needed to be sure before I give your number. Alafu ikuwe hata either ulikuwa Mombasa ukatoka, ama hata mimi niko na wrong information in my head.
Wow, niko Diani, stay kwa Mombasa.
Diani nakuanga wapi? Diani iko Mombasa wewe?
Iko Mombasa, iko Kwale County. Mombasa ni island.
There is Mombasa, then there is Kwale.
Yeah, Kwale County, Mombasa County.
Sisi?
Yeah.
Kwa sisi? Chochote ambacho kiko past Mutito Wandei.
Because ni Mombasa. I know, people get confused.
Yeah. Anything past Mutito Wandei, sijui Lamu, wherever, it doesn't matter. Mombasa ni Mombasa. Ikolikoni iko Mombasa. Unavuka na ferry iko Mombasa.
Iko Mombasa.
I think we see that whole area as one name.
Pwani.
We see it as just one, and we see it as not as Pwani mostly, as Mombasa. Mombasa sticks to the head easily. So I think what we'll do, then we'll leave it up to her to decide whether she'll coming to you, but then I can call her, recommend you, send you the number. Probably they are rich enough to import you over, or they have the cars enough to to come all the way to you.
Hopefully.
Whichever, they might have one of the ways, either prefer to come or call you over. You never know.
Yeah, it's okay, man. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Asante.
Chani wapigie.
Cheers.
Haya. Sasa
Mm.
hata kama sina studio Mombasa,
Mhm.
niko na photographer rafiki yangu najua sana ako Diani.
Mm.
So I don't know whether ni karibu na kwenye huko, but then if ni mahali anaweza kukuserve, naweza kukupea namba yake. Yeye atakufanyia tu kazi safi.
Ni sawa, si basi utanitumia namba yake ndio nisikie kama anaweza fika penye niko, kama mimi naweza fika penye yako.
Sawa, acha nikutumie kwa WhatsApp. Unaitwa nani?
Sasa hivi kwa WhatsApp, acha nikutumie namba ya WhatsApp.
Sawa, ni
Acha nikutumie namba ya WhatsApp.
unaitwa nani?
Naitwa Lavenda.
Lavenda. Namba yenyewe uko nayo hiyo ya WhatsApp, ni inbox kwa WhatsApp alafu nikujibu na namba ya Tam.
Hii namba yako iko kwa WhatsApp?
Iko nayo, hii ni namba ya job so iko kwa WhatsApp.
Haya, acha nikupe basi.
Ni inbox hiyo Lavenda alafu nitakurudishia na namba yake alafu mcall.
Haya.
Haya.
Asante.
Poa.
Frame by frame we join. Your story's alive.
You see guys, opportunities come, sometimes they are not for you. They are for the other guy because of distance or whatever factor. Some people might prefer to get a cut. I do prefer to get a name instead. I just recommend you and then you remember I did, so that in future if I want something from you, maybe to work with you, maybe I'm coming to shoot in Mombasa or in your town, maybe a wedding, and I try to book you, you will remember that I recommended you once and not charge me less but be available for the service. Sometimes it's easier to not carry people from Nairobi to go shoot like a Rorashio dowry ceremony in Eldoret, but it's easier to hire people from there because they even know the area. They'll take you around. They know whether they can even go for pre-visits. The photo is already done and dusted. We'll export it and then do another. I just want to, if that day I decide there is a burial ceremony I'm supposed to do somewhere in another town, instead of having to hire a car that carries 5 people and pay for all day, it's much easier for me to travel alone and then hire people from that area. So if if I'm in good terms with a certain grapher in that area, then my hope is that even if somebody else was booking them, I'll make a copy and liquify. Even if somebody else was booking them, they will remember that we have a relationship and they'll consider me, and that will save me all the money, all the stress of having to ferry people all the way, especially having to pick people from their houses 6 or 4 in the morning before the great day. And if we were supposed to go sleep over, then having to pay people for 2 days because they're traveling a day earlier, yet I'm being paid for just 1 day. I'm just creating the look I had in my mind, what I wanted her to achieve with this photo.
Edit like a pro, Stanley Mitch. Do you want me to make the
Women hate dummies. Anytime you're editing, remember, that is the one thing you should never forget to do, ever. It's like this camera is too low, so raise it slightly. It's looking at me from below the chin. I want to cut off a part of her body, this part, up to there.
trim color, make the vision glow. Stanley Mitch will teach you how to steal the show. From beginners to the masters, watch your skills grow. Hit that play button, let the magic flow. Edit like a pro.
So if you are in a different town and in Kenya, people call me a lot because I have a very heavy presence online, and you would like me to recommend you, just inbox me with your works. If I'm impressed by what you do and I know that the people I send to you in my name will be well served, then consider yourself plugged. Anytime I have someone near your area, sometimes you just want to hire a speed light, not even free, but you want someone to trust you. Someone you worked with before can always hire you that one, and they know where you're coming from and they know your brand. See, you could be in Eldoret and your memory card failed to work. Now you can call someone you have recommended before to lend you even a 16 GB memory card. Sometimes you can buy if there are shops around, but sometimes you might need to lend, to hire or borrow and deal with your condition. Sometimes the cars might strike, transport sector, and you're in a different town. The best place to go is in a grapher studio. You guys get maybe a model and shoot all night as you wait for tomorrow, and maybe do a podcast about streaming. Now I'm evening out the background. I do things very quickly. Sorry for telling you many stories, but we are here to even grow each other mentally. If I was in Nakuru and I did not have a place to sleep, my first thought would go to a photographer. That one will have very constructive conversations when we are together. Even if I was supposed to hire an Airbnb and invite one over, akuja maybe na camera, I mean kona kamera zangu, then we stream and talk about maybe shutter speed for 3-4 hours before they can go back to their houses. See, this background is not pure, so I'll use this layer, go back and make it cooler. That will make the background whiter, like I need it. I'll leave that one up there, and then I'll work with first with the background below, and then we'll deal with the rest later. So let's use select subject, make a copy, then rasterize it, then select subject from here. The problem with having flowers on a floor that is white, you'll have to like mask them in, all of them, no matter how painstaking the process is. But again, that's why we are paid. I also love it. I really love working in a studio. So yes, I would rather call a photographer, not my mom. We meet up, talk about business, exchange ideas. If he runs a podcast, we do a podcast together. And then later at night, I'll pick an Uber and go to a Airbnb, or they help me secure one around the area. Like make a network of other graphers, and when I say grapher, I'm involving both videographers and photographers. That's why I'm using the word grapher instead of photo or whatever other grapher. Oh my goodness. Mistakes. From the very first stroke I made a mistake. I should have been painting on, I painted on the layer instead of painting on the mask. My bad. I do that a lot. I know a few from Kisumu. I've recommended them before. Those guys do good work. They have very beautiful studio interiors. I know one from Meru. He's also a very awesome production. He does very good work. I don't know there's a thing that impresses me, like someone that does good work. Even if they are not doing it for me. People who do good work, they really excite me. They fulfill my festies. Also, I'm in Nairobi. If people from Nairobi can get me wherever, call you. And you know you can't come, maybe because they are not paying enough for you to come. But if you are around, you would attend. And there are people you trust. Let's use green. You cannot see what I'm doing here. You can always refer me, give the number, let me go for the job. When a job comes your way, I'll also send them towards you. If you like a cut from the job, we can discuss that, especially if the pay is good.
Cut, trim, color, make the vision glow.
We do teach editing, both here online and physical. Physical we do a lot more than this. When we are doing lives, we are very general and we have many other conversations while at it.
Hit that play button, let the magic flow. Oh, edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Turn every frame into pure cinematic bliss. From the timeline to the final stitch, you'll shine, you'll rise. Just flip that switch. Transition smooth, effects on point. Every clip lined up, frame
We charge 30,000 for a 3 months course, but the course doesn't end per se. Only official classes end. If by the 3 months you will not have understood any part of the lesson or any area, maybe color or color harmonies or posing or anything, you are still free to pop in, consult, call from your studio, and together with in your 30,000 you'll also get all the softwares that we use for free for your use.
to make the short and punchy you, or a full promotional anthem that could run for a few minutes.
And all the backgrounds that we have for free, all the actions, all the color lookup tables. Like, you'll get a lot of assets necessary for the edits, but you're going to teach you manual first, then we give you actions that pace up your work. Even when you see me use background cleanup actions, doesn't mean I don't know how to do that physically. I do. I'm not doing subject selection because I cannot select the subject using pen tool. I can, but it will take too long, and we are redeeming time. Days are evil. Remember?
Stanley Mitch will teach you how to steal the show. From beginners to the masters, watch your skills grow.
Now we are adding all these parts. After we select, pick brush tool, ensure the foreground color is white, this one, and then Alt backspace.
To pure cinematic bliss. From the timeline to the final stitch, you'll shine.
I'm trying my best to include the petals.
Transition smooth, effects on point. Every clip lined up, frame by frame we join. Your story's alive, it's a perfect pitch. All thanks to the guide of Stanley Mitch. Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch.
I can either include them by selecting, I can include them by painting. Do what works for you. Maybe I should turn this camera down so that you see how I move the mouse and how I achieve the results you're seeing. This is not a Wacom tablet, it's just mouse. Sometimes the distance you move is too small. In video you might not even notice whether I'm moving anything. But every time I'm painting, I'm starting with the framework and then I fill in the center.
Cut, trim, color, make the vision glow. Stanley Mitch will teach you how to steal the show. From beginners to the masters.
Once you get the outline right, everything else is very easy to do. Because this is the only place you need to be careful.
Let the magic flow.
The rest you carelessly fill it in.
Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Turn every frame into pure cinematic.
Think about it like
To the final stitch, you'll shine, you'll rise. Just flip that switch.
placing the bucket in a place where water is dripping, maybe below a tap. That's the part you need to do carefully. The rest, you just open the tap and wait. So once you have placed the bucket right, you just fill the rest easily with water. But if you make a mistake while placing the bucket, then you are going to lose a lot of water, which will also include you cleaning up the house, drying up the floor. Too much paperwork. But that can be avoided by being careful while painting and placing the edges where they belong. Thanks Nelix for the cable. The camera now works just fine. That glitch was too much. I know Nelix might not be watching this video, but someone else will hear it and tell him. I'm so grateful. That's what neighbors are for. The other cable charges, transfers data, does everything, except that it couldn't transmit this video signal well for my streaming software. I don't know why it had all that glitch and flickering.
Stanley Mitch will teach you how to steal the show. From beginners to the masters, watch
Maybe
your
it's cheap,
skills grow. Hit that play
Chinese knockoff.
the magic flow.
Maybe it's just broken. Maybe there's a side that doesn't work. Maybe it's the coding. I don't know. Not a cable engineer. So yes, if you are using a DJI Osmo Action 5 Pro for a job like this, and yours flickers, it is not the DJI Action camera that has a problem. Change the C2C cable. This is a lot of work, right? That's why people prefer to charge just 200 or 150.
With Stanley Mitch, do you want me to make the short and punchy like a YouTube jingle or a full promotional anthem that could run for?
They charge 150. They avoid all this work. They just shoot and send, shoot and send. Sometimes they just saturate and send. Sometimes they just retouch the space alone, smoothen the skin and send. They don't adjust anything, they don't improve the background, nothing. And that is their style, and it's awesome.
Teach you how to steal the show. From beginners to the masters, watch your skills grow. Hit that play button, let the magic flow.
I use green because it's very luminous, it's very conspicuous. I can easily see every brush stroke, except when I've shot on green or someone is wearing green, then I'll pick another color. Just pick a color that is easy to see and that is not nearing the colors you're using in your image. Think about it. If we used yellow, we could still work like that. It could still work. If we used orange, it could still work, but it's not very deep. You see, this one is not very different from that. You can't see, but cyan would, you see. But I find green to be a very nice happy point. I've tried very many colors before, even black. Let's do black. I don't find black as a color, I see it as lack of it, but still it's something you could use to painting, and you're painting with it so that you can use that paint later, that layer later, to mount it as a selection. You need a brush, a smaller brush, to draw the edges, and then a wider brush to fill in the center pieces, especially when they are big. The more you paint, the better you become at painting.
Trim color, make the vision glow. Stanley Mitch will teach you how to steal the show. From beginners to the masters, watch your skills grow. Hit that play button.
I've tried many other softwares in my lifetime. My lifetime here, I mean my editing lifetime. See, this one is easy to select from the background because it's a different color, so I don't need to paint. Just a selection like that. I have most of it, and so I just pick with the white and fill it once. Different tactics will get you where you're going quickly. Even this one is easier to do. Anything that is different from the background you are selecting it from, it makes it very easy for a selection tool to see the edges. But if it's something like this, sometimes you'll try and it doesn't get the edges right, sometimes it does. So that is the gamble I don't like to do. You see, you try to align something, it doesn't quite align. But if it was another color, it's very easy. So I'll fill that one and then I'll paint that in the remaining parts. So that's the reason I don't see the need to do a selection then add all the other parts. If it wouldn't work from the word go, I just resort to the other side and do the painting, the paint job, which obviously I've become very good at. Painting is something I've become very good at. Painting in Photoshop, that is. I've tried it with a tablet. It doesn't work. Right, I found it hard to work with it. Maybe that's a good way of putting it. Some people find it very easy to work with. I tried retouch with that thing. Having used a mouse for so long, the learning curve was too steep. I had so much work to do. I did not have room for errors. I thought, let me remain with... I had borrowed one so that I test whether it's something that I could add, whether it's a welcome addition to my work, and whether it would make me more efficient. Turned out, one, the pen was hard to fiddle with. I could easily lose it because I'm used to holding something big. Now a small thing, it's hard. To say the least, it was very hard for me. Some of you will think it's ushamba. It's village mentality. And you're right. You can think whatever. The end product is, it was difficult for me. However, you want to explain to yourself is the reason, as the reason, whatever reason you want to give yourself as the reason why I failed or I found it difficult. Still, the result is the same. It doesn't change anything. The fact remains, I found it very hard. But with a mouse, for me, it's very easy to, because I've practiced, especially during Corona period. I did a lot of re-editing of my old works. I learned a lot from a number of channels. I could plug you in with those. One of the channels is Photoshop Cafe. There is also another one called PTC, Photoshop Training Channel. It's led by a guy called Jesus Ramirez, but because he's not English, he calls it Jesus Ramirez. Jesus Ramirez. I think he's Mexican or something, or Israeli. I'm just trying to talk about, I'm thinking about the pronunciation of that word Jesus. So he says Jesus, but it's written as Jesus. The other one, the one most of you might know, is Pix Imperfect, taught by and hosted by Dinda. I'm forgetting his first name. Unmesh. Hosted by Unmesh Dinda. I learned a lot from those guys. A lot. I also learned a lot from Adorama. Adorama YouTube channel, particularly from two creators. The first one is Gavin Howie. He's a very great photographer. He has very nice concepts. I actually learned from him how to use strip boxes in very unconventional methods. I've used those ideas while shooting, and you should see my work. Outstanding. The other guy is Mark Wallace. One of the things I learned from him was relative height, relative size for soft boxes, and why larger soft boxes are better in softening light than smaller ones. I did the experiment, it worked just fine. So yes, Adorama is also a very nice channel. You could learn more from Lindsay Andler, except that she shoots in a very different style from what I do. So that's why she's not in my list, but I've watched her work a lot. There's a guy called Jirsa or something. I think he's also Israeli from... I'll remember his name. The co-founder of SRL Lounge. .com. I learned from him the things to avoid, all you must know before going to shoot a wedding. They did a podcast about it. I learned a lot. I've also learned how to use Note from him. There's another channel that has really built me a lot. The hosts of Picture This podcast. and those are the Northrups. Tony Northrup with his wife Chelsea Northrup. For video, I learned a lot from Epic Lighting Media. Those guys just talk about light and lighting. There's a difference between light and lighting. Lighting is what you see on someone's face. Light is the fixture itself. So they talk about the light, the fixture, and then lighting, what it does on the face, rather what you see in a shot. Hosted by a guy called Tom. Such a joke of a guy. A vibe also. He's awesome. I learned from Film Riots, hosted by a guy called Ryan Connery. One of their tutorials that I loved the most is the blood tutorial. They have a series, how to use blood in your films. I learned a lot from cinecom.net, hosted by a guy called my goodness, he's called what? I remember Jenik. There's another guy who hosts cinecom.net. All those ones, they teach videography and editing and After Effects and stuff. Again, like we did with the other skill, so we go back to this photo. Select subject, because you need to correct the tummy area and the ass. In 2020, I learned a lot from very many sources. I'm a product of what YouTube can make someone in many avenues. Some things I learned from YouTube, they were not taught in school, but they work. And that's what mattered. It's not where the source doesn't matter, like whether that works. There's a channel called either No Film School or something. I learned a lot from that channel again. Andrew Boy, some photographer from Malaysia. He's also a great teacher, that one. One is a great one. And he has very nice jokes. There is one of his best videos on aperture. If you don't know anything about aperture, or if you get confused around it, there is only one video you ought to watch, done by Andrew Boy. It's called The Ultimate Guide to Aperture. Now you see, I have the girl looking great. I need most of her except the skin looking cold. So I'll take away from her on that regard, on these layers, so that the rest is cold except the skin.
Transition smooth, effects on point. Every clip lined up, frame by frame we join.
There are so many people I've had to learn from.
Your story's alive,
I can highly recommend them.
it's a perfect pitch. All thanks to the guide of Stanley Mitch.
There is a channel called Storyboard. Teaches videography very deeply, topic after topic after topic.
Final stitch, you'll shine, you'll rise, just flip that switch. Light
They discuss just movies and how movies were made, and the short list, and camera movements, camera angles, ideas, concepts, rigs, everything, cinematography. They are nice guys, those ones. I'll do a video listing all those channels that have built me and that could build you if you had time to go watch them. They built me and they could build you if you did what? If you had time to go watch them.
Stanley Mitch will teach you how to steal the show. From beginners to the masters, watch your skills grow. Hit that play button, let the magic flow.
When you're watching a channel, if you'd like to learn a lot from them, don't watch it like a prostitute, shooting from one channel to another. If you begin to watch someone like Gavin Howie of Dorama TV, watch everything there is from him, everything you can find about him, every video he has put out, before you can even go to another. Just ensure you have watched every, so that if you watch enough content and practice as you watch, not just sit there and watch, you'll grow. And once you have grown in an area, then you can go move on to someone else and learn more, probably a different way of doing what another one taught you that might give you better results. If it's my channel, watch everything I've done until you are satisfied with the fact that now you know all I know. Then you move to someone else. If it's someone else, watch everything they've done. That's how you learn. But if you learn, you watch a 6-minute video from me, another 1-hour video from another channel, the mixed up of information will give you crowding in your mind. You will find yourself struggling to put together what you've learned for execution. But if you do one thing at a time, learn from one person at a go, trust me, you're going to love it. All those channels I've mentioned, I've watched them over a span of 12 years. So again, do not imagine that you rush to them later tonight, watch a video here, a video there, and then wake up excellent tomorrow. I did not watch them overnight. I did not practice what I do overnight. No. This is a product of many days of work. And it's possible for you also. But patience and practice will get you there. Don't be in a hurry, and do not jump in and out of channels. Unless you're trying to learn one concept, then that one you can learn across many channels. Maybe just retouch. You learn a little from me, from Animesh Dinda, from TTC, Photoshop Cafe. Don't remember the presenter of that channel. His name, I know his face, but I don't remember his name. Potato Jet. The Northraps. Tony and Chelsea Northrap. You can learn a lot from those. There is one video from them called The Ultimate Guide to Canon 6D Mark II. Man, that video has everything about that camera. Everything. If anybody wanted to shoot with a 6D Mark II, there is only one place I can recommend them. That video. It's a video you watch, you download it, keep it, and then somewhere within a week after you have watched it, you rewatch it. The more you watch it, the more content sticks in your head. The more you practice using your gear, the better. The video makes more sense the more you watch and use the camera. They are very thorough, those guys. There were days I used to watch that guy that shoots raw, Chronos Photo. His reviews for cameras, lenses. Those days the reviews were 5Ds Mark II, 5Ds Mark I, 7D. I did not learn much from him, but I did get an understanding of what it is like to use a prime lens and not a zoom lens, the difference it brings to pick one set of gear and not another. He emphasized one thing that is very important in all the lessons that I've learned from him, and I could say that today to you also. Sometimes it doesn't matter the camera you pick, but it does matter the lens you use. Do not use a shitty lens and try to get great results. Whatever you do, get yourself the best of lenses. You better have a D3200 with a nice 24-70 2.8 lens than have the best D7500 with a kit lens. Even if you had a Z6 with a kit lens, you're not likely to produce good work like someone with a professional lens and just a common camera body. I learned that from him. And now, even when I'm using a D7200, which is a little old camera, I think it's 20 years old, if not 15. I'm using the newest Sigma lens, and it's the one that is producing the photos you see us editing here. Yeah, I've remembered the host of Cinecom.net. He's called Jody. One time they robbed him at his studio and he shut down the channel. He quit YouTube. He had so much gear, a whole warehouse. And then they stole from him. Those pathetic idiots. And the whole creative had to close down. He said for his mental health he needs a break. I hope one day he comes back. Our heartfelt condolences. If not, I don't know what word we should use. To Jody, he is a great creator. He had 2 channels that I was aware of. Cinecom.net and Premiere Basics, I think. They taught a lot. with Genic and another guy there. They did a good job. I learned a lot from them also. Now the background, let's go look for something we can use. Let's use these balloons. I've learned from a lot of creators. A lot.
Stanley Mitch will teach you how to steal the show.
But everyone I've mentioned there, I've watched every video on their YouTube channel. Every. Even when it's a video on green screen, something I don't do, but I've watched all the videos.
Let the magic flow.
It helps for the day that you are called in a set where that thing you almost ignored is being used, and you are required to bring in input because you are the professional and you have no idea because it wasn't your area, you didn't have interest. So watch the said YouTube channels. I'll make a video saying which YouTube channels I've watched and what I've learned from them, and if what I've learned from them is something you'd like to learn, you'll also consider yourself plugged. You can always go back, you can always go to them and learn from them like I did. Then you can meet in the comment section and discuss how great those people are. There's one guy who has a very big following, but I've never learned anything from him. Peter McKinnon. I first heard him. He was hyped by Tom from Epic Lighting Media. I went to his channel, watched very many videos. He's just a good hype man. I didn't see, there wasn't much practical things for me to learn, or rather what he shoots or what he does, his approaches to photography and videography did not quite align with what I do. So yes, a good photographer is not the one we have with a big following. It's the one that aligns with what you are trying to do. There are great ones that also have a big following that also align. There are small ones even with small followings and they also don't align. Just remember to watch mostly concentrate on watching content from creatives that align with what you do. Like Gavin Hoey completely aligns with the kind of works I find exciting, the ones that I want to offer, the things that I'm excited about, the concepts that I would really even re-employ. I can even watch his video and reshoot that tomorrow and clients are willing to buy, because I'm also passionate with what he teaches and it aligns with the requirements and the needs of people around my area. Is it area or demographic? Around my demographic. So remember to always watch content from people that actually, whose brand aligns with what your clients want. You can learn something new. I tried learning something from Ronix. He taught a certain color grading thing. I loved it myself. I employed it in my edits. All my clients complained. They said they want my old works. Why do my work look so different? But I thought it was an improvement, and it was. But people that come to me were already accustomed to a certain style. They did not want any other changes. I learned hard that sometimes once you have established a style and people have taken up to it, you wanting to adjust it becomes hard work. That's what they call it. They said kazi zako za kitambo zilikuanga nzuri. Your old works were better. There's a guy called Joseph, a friend of mine. the CEO of Captions. He once told me that there is a time you can pay for a masterclass. You go learn concepts that beat all odds. But then it turns out that all your clients find that as a waste of time. They hate that thing that you even paid money for to go and learn. Check with your clients whether something you are trying to introduce to them is something they are excited about. Right, it seems like we are done with the black dress series. Don't know whether we continue or we stop, and then we do another one and do the white series. I think let's cut this one. Let me show you befores and afters, then we end this live, and then I start a new live and do the other set of clothes, so that we have we don't have very long videos, hours long. I know I would put even 7 hours live streams, but let's not have this one very long. So the before for this I had shown you earlier, but I'll show you again. That is 2676. This is the before, this is the after. This is the before, this is the after.
Stanley Mitch will teach you how to steal the show.
2633.
Masters, watch your skills grow. Hit that play button, let the magic flow. Edit like a pro with Stanley Mitch. Turn every frame
This is the before. This is the after.
timeline to the final stitch. You'll shine, you'll rise. Just flip that switch.
2658.
Position smooth, effects on point.
This is the before. This is the after. The face is overly smooth. I'm going to address that. And lastly, 2611. There it is, before and after. And now you see, ladies and gentlemen, those are the dots I go through. I've already shown you the behind scene video. If you haven't seen that, watch the other live stream. And I've also shown you how I go through my edits. I'm going to, after I've stopped this live stream, I'm going to check whether the skin tones look exactly the same. If they don't, I'll make the adjustments for that until they look the same, and then I'll start the other live stream, and then we'll meet here and enjoy again. Sawa sawa. Thank you for being here. Sorry for that hitch we had with the freezing software. We are improving every day. Hit a like, subscribe, share with your friends. If there is something, even if there is a photo you would like to know how it's edited, send me the end product, even if you found it on Pinterest, and then I can re-edit mine to look like that, and then we learn, and then we shall learn together. We are still shooting events. If you have an event, hire us. I still teach photography. You can come to me for that. I fly drones, so if you need drone coverage, come to me for that. We do podcast interviews, anything that requires a camera and an edit with a computer. We are your plug. Consider yourself plugged. Good evening. See you again in a few hours. Then we do the last live stream, finish the photos for this girl, send them home, and then tomorrow we wake up to something else. Thank you for being here. My name is Stanley Mitch, and this My name is Stanley Mitch, and this is Edit Like a Pro. Right. Thank you for being here.